Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Carvel Community Meeting. Today's date is April 14th, 2022. If you are watching this recording on YouTube and you would like to join us live, we do meet every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. It's a great way for you to come and meet the maintainers, meet other members of the community. You can bring up any questions you have, or you may need help with things regarding Carvel. We would love to have you join us and get to know you. So if you do have something you wish to discuss and you want to join us at our next meeting, you just put that down at the discussion topic section and we will get to it towards the end of the meeting. If you aren't able to join us, there are a couple of other opportunities for you to reach us. We can be found in the Carvel channel within the Kubernetes Slack workspace, or we can be found on Twitter at Carvel_dev, and then of course across GitHub, all of our GitHub repos. If at any point you are interacting with us or any other members of the community, we do ask that you please read and abide by our code of conduct, which is within the agenda here, and it links out to the code of conduct that's in our repo. And if you are using any of the Carvel tools, we do want to know how you are using it. So we've created this pinned issue, and it just asks you to provide a few details about yourself, any organization or company you're representing, and optionally provide a PNG version of the logo of that company. And we would add it to our adopters file. So just a way to show others who all is using Carvel. And by you giving us details, it not only helps us build better products, it also helps the community know how others are using it, and in turn helps them use Carvel in a different way. For those that are on the call today, just making sure y'all add your name and any organization that you are representing to the attendees list right here. And moving on to announcements. So for content this week, we have a blog post that was just published by Garrett Cheadle. He's one of the maintainers on Carvel. Parameterizing project configuration with YTT. Garrett, did you want to give any high level overview of this blog post?
Yeah, a lot of examples that we have in YTT are for Kubernetes configuration. And I wanted to show an example where we take a project's configuration. This one is for a backstage application, just an example we found on GitHub. But to take that project configuration and turn it into a set of YTT templates, essentially showing YTT's value outside of this Kubernetes space that we're in all the time.
I love that. That's really cool. Thanks for putting that together. And if for those that give this a read and you have any questions or feedback, please reach out to us. Upcoming for next week, we have a blog post coming out by Rohit. He's also a maintainer on the Carvel project. Identify a ghost diff during kapp-controller reconciliation. So expect more details next week on that. And if you have anything that you wish to share with the community and you want to write about it or just do a video or demo or anything like that, we have created a way for you to participate. And it's not just strictly for maintainers. So anyone in the community can sign up for a date, either those that are listed here, or you can sign up for something further down, put your name, the topic that you're wanting to share, and then how you're going to be delivering that topic. So is it a blog post, a video, is it going to be a demo, or if you're presenting at a meetup or anything like that, we would love to put it here and we would share across all the channels and promote it, and through Twitter, through Slack, through email, as well as on our community meeting. And as a thank you, we would send you a Carvel t-shirt and maybe some other forms of swag as well. So thank you, and we hope that you sign up and participate. Now moving on to releases. we had an image package release this week, 0.28. Joao, you want to share a little bit about this?
Yeah, here is our little friend image package again, calling out the shots and saying, have a new version for y'all. So this version has two important changes. One important change in like a bug fix, and a third topic is the one that is there first. And now we also release binaries in ARM26 for Linux. That was something that was asked from us, so we are doing that. So the main focus of this release is the bug fix. There was a problem when you were mounting blobs in the same registry. So if you copy the bundle from one repo to another repo in the same registry, it was failing. So this bug, this version will address this. This happened 2 versions ago, and it has been failing since then, but it's not fixed. And there's our friend Alex helped us implement the feature that you see there, where if you provide, when you're copying a bundle from one repository to another, if you use the flag ---- repo base tags, it will create a tag for each image that kind of mirrors the original place where this image was from. So now instead of having a tag that is sha dash in the sha.image package, now it contains, like, for example, I don't know, ghcr.io-some-nice project. And that would be the tag. So this is pretty cool. Thanks, Alex, for all your work. It was quite a big chunk of work that was done there. So thank you very much. So yeah, I think this is basically it. And don't feel shy. If there's anything that you'd like to see change on image package, just feel free to come. And we, the maintainers, will help you if you need some help or not. But we are always willing to get new people to look at our code base. So that's that for us.
And thanks, Joel, and thank you, Alex. Thanks for all the help there. Does anyone have any questions or comments for Joel about this release?
Yeah, how does the repo base tags work with the copy command? Will it work with the copy command if you do an intermediate, if you use an intermediate tarball?
That's a good question. That's a good question. We use the origin, so like the beginning of times. That's the repo that we're using to base our tags on. So if you copy from place A to place B, and then from place B to place C, the tags will match repo A, not the intermediary one.
Okay, so if we add this when we put it to a tar, when we go from tar to the registry, it will have the tag from the source registry then.
Exactly.
Okay, awesome.
Scott, for that question. Any other questions or comments? Okay. Moving on to status updates / what's been worked on this week. Just clicking on the project roadmap, taking a look at it. Any updates here to share?
No updates. Just need to clean this up a little bit since March is come and gone, and that's all. Just, yeah, some light cleaning up, but it's all holding true.
And now, as far as other items being worked on, looks like we got some stuff for YTT to share.
Yeah, we got some new docs, so check them out. And then the schema validation epic that we've been working on is in progress.
Well, cool. Anything else that the team wants to share here that they're working on?
So just want to call out, thanks Neil and Joe. Neil, your PRs, both your PRs, we are hoping to cut a release early next week on CAP. Just a side question there, do they get Carvel t-shirts for contributing to other repositories? Like, no, Joe is, okay, Joe is saying no. I tried.
It's too late. It's too late. We already have them.
Some other swag then, okay. But thanks for the contribution, Joe. I think yours looking good. It will go after we cut the release. I don't think we want to put them together right now. We are trying to keep the experimental feature that is going in, coming out next week. We want to keep them separate, and then we will do the other merges later on. Neil, do you want to let everybody know what those features are, or should we take it up next week?
Yeah, we can go through them real quick. I don't have the pull request numbers. That might be helpful to frame it. See if I can find them real quick.
So one is about having the new config map names with suffix. Another one is about the rename. Yeah, it means.
Yeah, I
one
can
of
put
the
pull
pull
request
request number is 450. I remember. The other one I don't.
Okay, cool. I can put them in afterwards. Yeah, so for the next version of CAP, I guess, there's going to be a new environment variable that you can set while you are CAP deploying that will allow you, or will change the config map that CAP uses internally to include a new suffix that is unique to the CAP ecosystem. So if your app was previously called foo, it will now be called foo.apps.k14s.io with this new environment variable set. And the reasoning behind that is that today, if you have two apps, like for example, you have a package repository that is named foo, and maybe you have a package install that's also named foo, or a package that's named foo, or just any arbitrary thing that CAP is deploying as an app, it will, those names will collide. They will all be just called foo. So the second iteration of that is when you are CAP deploying, there is going to be a new flag that you can specify the old name for your app, and it will migrate it from that old name to this new naming scheme. So specifically for kapp-controller, we were running into these issues because of package repositories and package installs, etc. If they're given the same name, there's just weird overlapping behavior where they start to just fight amongst each other. So for us, this use case was pretty important. And this combination of the two flags will allow kapp-controller to have things named the same, but internally they'll be represented as different.
Yeah, just an additional note there. The first feature that we talked about, it is an experimental feature. Used with caution, because even though it is backward compatible, there might be some naming differences that might be visible if you have a previous version of CAP somewhere in the system and you're trying to use the same app with two different versions. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess in that vein, please check it out, try it out. We want to get some feedback on it to make sure that that it's all in good working shape. The end goal for this whole thing is that today, if you have an app named foo, the unexpected behavior is that CAP has a config map that's named foo. So the end goal eventually is that CAP, maybe this would become a default naming scheme. So this experimental feature is to to just kind of kick the tires on that idea that we're moving naming schemes for like internally represented cap features. So this is like the first step. Please try it out.
Thanks, Neil.
Any questions regarding that?
I actually had a question for Neil. You mentioned k14s.io as like the suffix that's being added to the name. Is that because of backwards compatibility that we kept like this legacy name of k14s? That's what Carvel used to be named, short for Kubernetes tools.
Yeah, I don't hold like a strong opinion on that one, but I think it was mostly for consistency. I think CAP today already has some things that are named in that naming scheme, and at least I didn't want to introduce like multiple different naming schemes within the tool.
Yeah, all the annotations that are there in CAP right now are all k14s.io app. So one, I think, legacy.
I don't know, maybe it makes sense for us to start moving forward and not just hanging on our past and start changing our annotations and stuff, keeping the backward compatibility there for the new naming, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something we should keep in mind, and figure out who should be involved in that and making sure moving forward we'll keep that going and making sure everything's backwards compatible. I don't know, Neil, if you need to talk to someone or what the process would be to make sure like moving forward we'll keep that in mind.
I think I can create a GitHub issue. I can't remember if we have one or not, but it's not a completely trivial change. So changing, I don't know, these annotations across the tools is something that I think that we would like to do at some point. And some of the tools already have them. So I can at least create an issue to track this work, and then we can figure out on a tool by tool basis when to do it.
Yeah, that would be great.
I think so. I think that at least like new features, they should be referencing things from the past. Like even if there's like a discrepancy there, I think with time we want to move everything to the new schema. So if you can start doing it bit by bit, it would be better, because now we need to have like a way to hold, like there's one more annotation that we need to have backward compatibility. So we're just creating extra work for us if we create new annotations and keep the k14s suffix on them.
I will add that as a review comment, Neil, in the current PR. It's not released yet, so we still have some time. Let's see if that goes through, whether it gets approved or not.
Okay, great call out, Garrett. Thanks for that. Anything else in this section? Status updates, what's being worked on?
Just an FYI, not image package specific, but we started looking into signing in verification and how that would look like in terms of our full flow for kapp-controller. So if you have like any ideas, any suggestions, just feel free to ping us, and we'll be more than happy to look into things. So just so you know, this work has started already.
All right, moving on to discussion topics. So one of the things that's been bouncing around is what, for a community meeting, we have this distributed team that also is based in India, in addition to being in the United States, and we have a global community. What would make the most sense as far as date and time for this community meeting? And we have, should we make it earlier in the day for Thursdays? If that is possible, how does the team feel about, how does the team and the community feel about an earlier time on Thursdays, or an earlier time earlier in the week, whether that be Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday? And we're talking like maybe 8 or 9 a.m. Pacific time as far as earlier goes. Any initial thoughts, reactions?
So as far as time goes, I think it is 11 p.m. IST, right? When the meeting started, it was 11 p.m. I am okay with it. However, it does not work when daylight saving sets in, right? Then it becomes really late. So for the time being, I think the time 11 is fine. From our team, I think one of us will try and attend this meeting whenever possible. And if there is a if we are not able to attend, one of us not able to attend, then I think I can give my updates to Aaron, and then he can pass on the message either ways to me or to him. So that is with regards to the time, and that is how we are trying to manage so far. Thursdays, however, Thursday 11 o'clock is a problem. If it is any other work day, I think it would make sense. It would be better. So that's the discussion probably that we can have.
Any
Yeah,
other?
from my side, Wednesdays is the only day that can't work. Too many cluster API and Tanzu meetings. But I think that like Tuesdays would work earlier or at the same time, or I'm also happy with the current time. Nothing later than the current time, but anything now or earlier on Tuesdays or Thursdays would work.
Okay. That's some good feedback. Another thing that I had tossed around, and Renu, I haven't had a chance to connect with you on, is the CAP team having their own meeting, and it being more so like a CAP team Carvel meetup type of thing, where I wouldn't necessarily be present to facilitate, but the CAP team could be there to discuss what they've been working on. Maybe a maintainer, if they're able to make it outside, like those that are working on other pieces of Carvel could attend. Having that either once a month or bi-weekly at a, I don't know, like 9 a.m. India time.
If this is to facilitate community from India to participate, I don't think we have we will have a lot of presence there in that kind of a meeting. So if it is once a month, I could do that once a month in this meeting itself, even if it is a little late, right? that kind of a date. So I think would prefer to have a single meeting for now till we have more base in India or in that time zone.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. So it sounds like Thursdays are really hard for you for the late hour. If we were to move it to say 9 a.m. Pacific time now, come fall, it would end up being just as late for y'all once we do the daylight savings time moving forward. And then we would be right back into the same spot. So if they're like juggling with the late time, it sounds like maybe like a Tuesday would work best for you, Renu, and others in the CAP team. Like if we were to do, I don't know. I think that maybe just think about it and maybe we can revisit it next week. We don't have to come up with something right now. And if we want to just stick with the time as is, time and date as is. So, okay.
Maybe we can set, maybe Nancy, we could do something like one of those schedule-y or whatever, you know, with like optional times, and people can vote for them and just send like a link to the Carvel Slack channel with like optional like 4 or 5 times that make sense. And then have people vote for them and see which has the most, you know, interest.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I can do that.
Is it a good idea to ask for like not just one preference, but maybe 2 or 3 preferences so that we can try to keep everyone happy?
You will not get many votes from this side of the world or
That's
any
why,
of the
like,
time, because the number is less. So I think it is it will be already be skewed towards other time zones, so which is okay. So I think Thursday 11 o'clock for now is okay. If we can change that to Thursday the same time, even in non-DST, when the daylight savings sets in, that if you move it an hour earlier for the other 6 months also, I think that should be fine.
And you're saying if we were to move it just earlier on Thursday, that would be fine? Or
It's Thursdays, I like to keep it free because Thursday evening, my Friday already starts. So, but it's fine. I think we can make this 1 hour work.
Yeah, okay. We'll get it figured out. I don't want work to get in the way of life. Okay, so we have about 12 minutes left. Call for feedback on proposed YTT guides and examples. And oh, is that like a, oh, it's Slack. Okay, I can't share.
Yeah, that's fine. I mostly just want to encourage people who are interested in like new YTT documentation to give me their feedback on 3 proposed new guides. So that would be like how to convert Helm templates to YTT templates, how to use YTT alongside Helm, and then templating in a multi-line string are the ones that have been identified so far as guides that we're going to add. If you have examples of those or suggestions, or if you hate them and want to suggest something totally different, reply in that Slack thread, and let's talk about it.
Great. Thanks, Carrie. Okay, anything else to bring up before we end the call? Okay. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining today. We hope that you're able to join us live for our next one if you're watching this from home. And with that, have a great rest of your week. And we look forward to meeting you. Thank you.